papers call him the Grabber.
I wish you wouldn't say his name.
You don't actually believe that, do you? And he doesn't take kids that safe.
I'm no child psychologist, just a guy who talks about horror movies on the internet. But yeah, that little girl's gonna regret saying that. One of the most anticipated horror movies of the year is finally hitting theaters on June 24th, but some of us have been waiting over 10 years for this one. You see, 10 years ago, this fascinating thing happened. Ethan Hawke, a four-time Oscar nominee, long known as a leading man in Hollywood, made what was, in a career that at that point stretched back 25 years, his first horror movie. He starred in a whole bunch since, but it took a special film to bring Hawke into the genre. That movie just happened to be an instant classic that's been called one of the scariest movies of all time, Sinister. Fun fact about Sinister, it was directed by Scott Derrickson from a script he co-wrote with C. Robert Cargill for Blumhouse. And here's what makes that fact especially fun. That whole team is finally back together with Hawke starring in a new Blumhouse horror film from Derrickson and Cargill, The Black Phone. Based on the award-winning short story of the same name by Joe Hill, The Black Phone centers around 13-year-old Finney Shaw, played by newcomer Mason Thames, who's abducted by a mass serial killer known as the Grabber. In the Grabber's basement where Finney is being held captive is a phone, and you'll never guess what's up with that phone. If you said it's black, that is true, but the answer I was looking for is despite being disconnected, the phone still rings and Finney is able to talk to the Grabber's victims from beyond the grave as they try to help him escape. So, there's a bit more to it. The writers took the challenge of turning Hill's short story with a simple, chilling concept into a feature by trying to build a familiar world. They set it in the late 70s, which is when they were actually Finney's age, and it was this crazy period in America plagued by serial killers, child abductors, and an unprecedented amount of bullying. Grounding the film there was important for them. Cargill has even said they wanted to make a coming-of-age film that got interrupted by a horror movie. And of course, that movie stars Hawke in an unforgettable turn as the Grabber, a failed magician turned serial killer who terrorizes a small Colorado town while wearing a collection of horrifying masks, which happen to be designed by absolute legend Tom Savini. While most of us see The Black Phone as a long-anticipated reunion, the thrilling tale is set to carve out its own place and challenge Sinister for the title of your favorite Blumhouse horror movie, directed by Scott Derrickson, co-written by C. Robert Cargill, and starring Ethan Hawke. You can finally see The Black Phone in theaters on June 24th. Until next time, keep the horror on the screen and off the street.
Subscribe for new scary videos and comment with your theories on the Crypt Monster universe. Remember, it's all connected.